the Dragons and the Richland Rebels. Homecoming 15 as we play-by-play of Dragon football. Chuck Kelly along with Kelly Milligan and Travis Smith on the side. The Dragons won the toss, deferred, so they're going to be kicking off to start the ball game. Richland will get the ball first. It is 77 degrees here. The wind out of the north. Breeze at about 20 miles an hour, so it could be a factor in the game as we're ready to get it started. The ball teed at the yard line and the kick in the air all the way down to the 15. Taken there by Landon Lee, brings it back out to the 30 and a return to the 31-yard line. Sewell, kind of like a grapevine kickoff. Let's meet the Richland Rebels led by quarterback Jordan, the 6-foot senior, who has rushed for over 564 of 110. He's got 7 down, 6 receptions. His receiving crew, got guys will work in and out. Aaron Denton, as I mentioned in the pregame, the one to keep an eye on, the 6-foot senior, Landon Lee, Caleb Wells, and Kyle Atoka. The 4 wideouts on first down and 10 as they go with a single setback. Riley Johnson lines up to the right of the quarterback. Wiley, who takes the snap, has protection, throws over the middle, and the pass is caught out beyond the 45 to the Dragon 48. Beg your pardon. It came free and dropped right on the Dragon logo near the 50-yard line. Obi Evo was in the coverage trying to hit Aaron Denson. That was a good pass, but Denson couldn't hang on to it, so it'll be a second down. That offensive line for the Rebels, Jacob Young, Jaden Rubio, Isaac Torres, Scout, 255 pounds across the front, is on 2nd and 10. A quick pass left side. This one is caught to the 35-yard line, and it's a gain of 4. Landon Lee, the Z receiver, making his 21st reception of the year, the 5'9 junior, with the completion. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6.
And you see this opening drive, the way they're trying to establish the short pass. In the past, they'd settle for 4 yards with the run. Now they think 4 yards through the air and a guy in space is every bit as good.
They line up Dylan Pinkston in the game at a tight end position. Lines up actually over on the right side of the line. They've got Riley Johnson in the backfield alongside Jordan Wiley, who has 4 receivers in the pattern as he throws over the middle on 3rd and 6. The pass is caught by Aaron Denson at the 50-yard line. He's got a gain of 15 yards before Barrett Buck, the strong safety, makes the tackle for the Dragons. The Carroll D brought to you linebackers Ivy Seacat and Matt Warner on the inside, Grant McFarland and Jacob Doddridge on the outside. Obi Evo and Zion Sales are the quarterbacks. Robert Barnes and Barrett Buck are the safeties. First down and 10 for the Rebels. We played 1 minute and 8 seconds, no score. Richland going from right to left. That is west to east here at Dragon Stadium. Here's a pass, floats deep down the right side, caught inside the 30 to the 25 and out of bounds. Aaron Denson down around the Dragon 21-yard line, give him 29 yards on the completion from Jordan Wiley to Aaron Denson and Barrett Buck on the tackle.
You got to wonder about the coverage on that one. Denson going on a fade route, breaking towards that right sideline. He had nobody within about 4 yards of him when the ball was delivered.
So the Rebels, with the opening kickoff, they're on the move. They've got all the way down to the Dragon 21. Swing it, quick pass, near side in the flat, caught by Lee. Left side gets inside the 20, down to the 15, and tackled at the 12-yard line. Grant McFarland, who you heard on our pregame show, making the tackle. 5'10 senior gets stop number 43 on the season. And the Rebels stay right back to the line of scrimmage. They go with a tempo offense. 2 receivers short side left, 1 wide right. They're going to hand it off to Riley Johnson. And he'll put his head down and get inside the 11-yard line, close to the 10. Going to be a gain of a yard statistically. Going to be good for the first down. McFarland, Seacat, and Warner on the stop, but Richland, Kelly, all the way down to the Dragon 10.
And that on their first rushing play of the game, they pick up the short first down, but it's been impressive watching them move the ball through the air. Totally different offense, but the execution very sharp here in the early going.
6-foot senior Jordan Wiley, the quarterback, wears number 11 on the back of his white uniform tie. As he looks to the play call to the far side, will make the adjustment. At the line of scrimmage, 2 receivers left, 1 right. Here's the snap to Wiley, hands it around the right end, goes Riley Johnson. The sophomore will get inside the 10, down to about the 9-yard line, give him 2 yards statistically as Matt Warner, the sophomore Mike linebacker, on the stop for the Dragons.
Here's where you want to watch for the zone read. The one thing we have not yet seen out of this Richland offense on the opening possession is Wiley pulling it down and running. He's their best ball carrier. And if you've got the Dragons thinking about Riley Johnson, might be an opportune moment for him to just tuck it and tear upfield.
Second down, goal to go from the Dragon 9-yard line. Just underway, no score early, but Richland on the move. Here's the snap to Wiley. Has time, looks for the end zone, throws, caught, touchdown. Easy as you please. Aaron Denson hauls it in. That is touchdown catch number 7 on the year. 6-0.
That pass was open a lot on this drive, and it's really nothing too complicated. It's just Denson getting inside shoulder on a slant route. You're limited when you're in the red zone like that. You've got the end line as a defender, but he made his cut right in front of a Dragon defender and pulled it in for the score.
Colin Zelmer on for the point after touchdown. He's 10 of 11 on the year. Good snap. The ball put down by Colton Curtis, and the kick is no good. It's off the upright over on the right side, so it will remain 6-0. Second miss of the year for Zelmer. Dragons catch a break early. 8:53 to go opening quarter. Our new score, the Rebels 6 and the Dragons nothing. Carroll football presented by Freeman Toyota continues in a moment. Richland, it is 6-0. The Rebels leading the game. The scoring drive brought to you by Ozarka brand 100% natural spring water. 8 plays, 69 yards, taking 3:03 off the clock. And again, the touchdown pass from Jordan Wiley, which is TD pass number 8 on the year to Denson. His 7th TD catch. And the Dragons find themselves behind as the Sewell Cadillac of Grapevine kickoff from Colton Zelmer. Going to come down to Shamar Coleman. Back inside his 20, goes up the numbers left side of the 30, 35, 40, 45. Still surging to the 50, into the open, and Richland territory. Goes to the 40 and finally knocked down at the 39-yard line. That is a 57-yard return by Shamar Coleman. And the Dragons will set up shop in Richland territory.
That's what Carroll needs. That's probably the first big play we've seen out of the return game for the Dragons, the wiggle. That time he just did a nice job following blocks early and wiggling through defenders on the way downfield.
Dragons starting lineup brought to you by Mustang Elite Car Wash right across from Dragon Stadium. Remember, they've got the clean car guarantee. It's not just for rain, it's for anything. 48 hours, you get anything on your car, get back in, get it washed. There's junior quarterback Mason Holmes, who have a little Jordan Humphrey with him in the backfield. Give you the receiving set in just a moment. As on first down and 10, they'll hand it to Humphrey, and he will be hit at the line of scrimmage and get stopped really for nothing. As the first guy on the tackle was Kason Clark, the returning starter nose guard for Richland, and he had a whole lot of help. The receiving core for the Dragons, including Zach Farrar, Cam Duhan is out there, Shamar Coleman getting a start, and Jack Johansson. Those are the 4 wides, left and right, 2 on either side for the quarterback, Holmes. 6-0 Richland, early line, deep ball for Holmes, going for it all right near the end zone, and there's a flag at the 5-yard line as Farrar was in one-on-one coverage, getting matched up out there with P.J. Hill, and the back judge said, now too much contact, and he threw the flag.
P.J. Hill playing center field as the free safety. He needed a little bit of help. Farrar was open. Had to come back for the ball, which was a little underthrown, and that's when Hill decided to lay some mitts on him.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 8. 15-yard. Automatic first down.
It was actually Logan Jenkins, the junior quarterback, was on the coverage that got whistled for the flag. So nevertheless, the penalty will take it down to the 25-yard line, where it will be first down and 10 for the Dragons. Again, going to the west end zone. That's to our right here in the first quarter. Richland on top 6-0. Inside the 20, gets down to the 18-yard line. A gain of 7 yards before Cole Burgess, the defensive tackle, makes the stop for the Rebels. The offensive line for the Dragons averaging 241 across the front. Lucas Tribble, the left tackle. The left guard, Cade Long. The center, Noah Hubble. The right guard, Chase Sanford. The right tackle was Carson Green, who you also heard on our countdown to kickoff. Second down and call it 3 as they go with a 2-back set. And they're going to give it on a little toss sweep. It's going to be Coleman, beg your pardon, inside the 10, inside the 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown. Hurdled the defender at the end zone. An 18-yard scoring run as Holmes flipped it to Coleman, came around on that little jet sweep, and the Dragons have tied it up. It's 6-6.
Nicely set up by the previous 2 running plays. Carroll runs into the teeth of that Richland defensive front. This time they go a little bit east to west. Coleman finds a little cutback.
With his 4th touchdown rushing of the year. And the point after attempt brought to you by County Commissioner Gary Fickus is Cole Ramage, who has taken over the PAT duties. On for the kick, and it's good. We've got timeout with 7:33 to go in the opening quarter. Our new score becomes Carroll 7 and Richland 6. Dragon football presented by Freeman Toyota is back in a moment. 7-6, Dragons on top, 7:33 to go in the first quarter. 4 plays, 40 yards. The Ozarka brand 100% natural spring water scoring drive. Here's the approach. The Sewell Cadillac of Grapevine kickoff from Jake Oldroy. Going to boot it down to the 5-yard line. Bring back out to the 10. Goes Landon Lee. Now kind of cuts back middle of the field to the 15 to the 20. And he'll get out to the 21-yard line. A gain of 16 on the return before Gavin Harrison making the tackle for the Dragons. First down and 10 for the 21-yard line. 7-6 Dragons. 7:26 to go. Here in the opening quarter of play, 3 receivers to the right for the quarterback, Jordan Wiley, who takes the snap, throws over the middle. The pass is incomplete out around the 35-yard line. There's a marker down on the play. Barnes was in the coverage, got a hand on it. Landon Lee was actually the intended receiver. So now we'll check the infraction.
Robert Barnes, depending on the play.
Frank Wilcox, a referee out of the Fort Worth chapter. Ask him how long he'd been doing these games. He said 30 years he's been a high school referee. Frank says
illegal formation. Offense. Penalty is declined. Second down.
That's what Frank says.
I will defer to Frank on that.
Hey, you got that kind of between him and Ned tonight. We got some serious longevity.
We got some veterans here in the game tonight.
Wiley, senior, who will actually split time at QB with Trey Self. See him a little bit later. As Wiley calls for the football, takes the snap. And now gets pressure. He's in trouble, shakes away from it, back at the 15-yard line, goes straight ahead to the 20, and Dragons all on his back, but it'll carry him out to the 25-yard line, give him a gain of about 3.5, maybe 4 yards. Matt Warner, the sophomore inside linebacker, with senior Grant McFarland on the coverage. First guy pressured him out was Ryan Miller. Kelly forced him to move.
Yeah, Miller had him dead to rights back at about the 15. He managed to scoot forward and turn that into a positive play. Good physical runner. You see why Kate says he may be their best ball player.
3rd down and 7 for Richland. For the 24, the 1-of-1 on 3rd down tries. 2 receivers short side left, 2 wide to the right. The Dragons have those 3 down linemen, and they're going to play nickel coverage in the secondary. Jordan Wiley looks for the... Here comes the pressure. He's going to throw upfield. The pass is caught. Aaron Denson's got it at the 40-yard line over near the Carroll bench, and he's twisted off his feet at that point, but it's good for a first down and a pickup of 16 yards from Jordan Wiley to Aaron Denson, who is as advertised. McFarland, Seacat, Davis, and Barnes all in on that tackle.
I'm impressed with Wiley in the early going. This does not look like a converted linebacker. He gets good zip on the ball, and he threads the needle into double coverage there. Denson now 3 catches for 54 yards. Carroll might need to do something to address that combination as the night goes on.
Sidelines left, open field to the right side on 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Here's the snap to Wiley. Tosses it out, left flat, complete to the 45. A gain of 5. It's Denson again who makes the catch. Barnes and McFarland combining on the tackle for the Dragons. We've got a Duff's Famous Wings sideline update, Travis.
We haven't seen a team in 3 seconds after he gets it, whether there's a receiver open or not. He's not going to sit and hold the football and take a sack. Therefore, there's no pressure being put on him.
Wiley, the only guy in the backfield, so they've emptied out everybody. 5 wides on 2nd down and 5 from the 45-yard line. Richland into the field. It's going to be a quarterback draw. Straight ahead goes Wiley. He's got the first down across the 50 to the Dragon 49-yard line. A pickup of 6 yards. Ivy Seacat making the tackle for the Dragons, but another Richland first down.
Design quarterback draw, and you see the burst and the acceleration. That's a guy with good speed. He's a 4.5 guy, and he was very quick through the hole. Before Carroll knew he was running, he'd passed the marker. 6 first downs already for Richland on the night, Chuck.
1st down and 10 from the 48. 49-yard line make it. Just across the 50. Incomplete. Out in the flat, it was intended there for Caleb Wells. Zion Sales is in the coverage for the Dragons.
And that was just maybe a little bit of a miscommunication. Wells maybe broke at a different time than Wiley was expecting. Wiley threw the ball behind him. Wells tries to reverse field and get back to it. Maybe lost his footing. Incompletion.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Rebels. 5:05 and the clock stopped here in the first quarter. The Dragons on top 7-6, but the Rebels have moved it across the 50-yard line to the Dragon 49. 4 across the front now for the Dragons. They cheat an extra lineman up there. Little play fake. Now Wells in trouble. He's hit. Wiley gets dropped, I should say, at the 48-yard line. Thought he lost the football, but he held on to it. It's a loss of 3 on the sack as Jackson Cantor was the first one there. Had pressure up front by Ryan Miller.
And the ball popped loose. He had to stop running for a minute and pull it back out of the air. The hesitation gave the Dragon defenders the opportunity to knock him over. So third down, 2 of 2 on the night for Richland.
And now we get time called as we get a flag thrown across the way before the snap. That has to be
offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Has to be that right there. That'll cost the Rebels 5 yards.
Well, and there again, I am going to defer to Frank. If he says that's a false start, it is. But now Richland very much behind the chains, facing a 3rd and 18. And while they're 2 of 2 on the night on third down conversions, this is a little longer than they've had to face thus far.
So Richland from the 43 with 2 receivers, short side to the left, 1 wide to the right. Dragons again with 4 across the front. Snap to Wiley, has protection, throws over the middle for Denson. Barrett Buck, and that collision jarred the ball free. It'll be 4th down, and Richland will be forced to punt.
And that's what the Dragon defense needed. Obviously, they still gave up some big plays to the Richland offense on this offensive possession, but they were able to slow them down and, more importantly, get a little bit of pressure on Wiley.
So 4th down, 18 from the 43. 4:14 to go in the first quarter. The Dragons on top of the Rebels 7-6. And Carroll about to get the football offensively for the second time as they're at Lil Jordan Humphrey standing back at his 26-yard line with Colton Curtis set to punt this one away. And this is a short kick. It is going to be fair caught and then dropped, and it's scrambled for at the 31-yard line, and the Dragons got on top of it as Matt Warner, the sophomore, with a big play. Boy, Carroll's had a bugaboo this year. Lil Jordan Humphrey's almost disaster. The Dragons get back on top of it. As here's a 1st and 10 handoff, goes to Lil Jordan Humphrey, and he slashes left side across the line of scrimmage, the 32 out to the 36. Going to be a gain of about 4. And Landon Lee, the junior weak safety, on the tackle for the Rebels.
Lee not fooled by him before he could turn downfield and make that into a bigger play.
2nd down, 7 from the 34-yard line. Dragons with 1 receiver, short side to the left, 3 wide to the right, 4 on the rush for Richland as they'll hand it off. Humphrey breaks the line of scrimmage, has 5, has 10, gets out across the 45 out to the 48-yard line, a gain of 13 yards. Landon Lee and Deshaun White, the sophomore will linebacker, on the tackle for the Rebels, but a chain mover for the Dragons. 1st down and 10.
Same play there. Nice block by Lucas Tribble and by Carson Green. It looks like he's pulling from the right side.
1st down and 10 from the 48. Here is the snap to Holmes. He's going to go deep. He has Farrar. The pass a little bit underthrown, and it is intercepted at the 12-yard line, picked up by P.J. Hill. That's his 2nd interception of the year. The 6'2" free safety just went up with the and Hill took it away.
That was awfully nice done by P.J. Hill. He had a little bit of help over there by Kyle Atoka, so Holmes is basically throwing into double coverage. Farrar almost winds up the defender there, but Richland snuffs out what looked like a promising Dragon drive.
Dust Famous Wings brings you a sideline update with Travis Smith.
I think the north wind kind of drifted that ball away from Farrar because he was open on the near sideline and he just had to go too far towards the middle of the field to try and track that football down.
Again, that wind 20 miles an hour out of the north. It's kind of a cross breeze here. Of course, Dragon Stadium, the football field runs east to west. As Trey Self is in the game at quarterback for the Richland Rebels. They said they'd have an alternation at quarterback, and that's what we see on 1st down and 10. The line of scrimmage actually marked at the 15, and a pass over the middle deflected, and it is going to be, looked like that they were going to be able to pull it out of midair, and it looks like that Obi Ebo might have knocked the wind out from him.
He landed very rough on that one as the ball squirts out. You can see that, and he is still down. Let's hope it's just that he's winded, something temporary.
Okay, as he's walking out under his own
Ladies and gentlemen, checking up on the
strength, but he looks a little bit woozy there. Again, he caught that ball, went directly to the field, but had the ball underneath him, so I really think it knocked the wind out from under him.
Either that or, sometimes you go down and you just clock the field with your face mask and it leaves you shook a little bit. But he looks like he'll be okay, and that's good.
Jackson Davis is going to come into the game at the quarterback position on the right side. Zion Sales over on the left. So it will be 2nd down and 10 from the 15-yard line. Dragons on top, 7-6, 3:01 to go here in the first quarter. Second district game of the year. Dragons 1-0 in league play. Richland also 1-0. Trinity coming up next week for the Dragons. As the snap, Self puts it on a little jet sweep. Coming near side, Riley Johnson comes to the left. And Jacob Doddridge, the sophomore Sam linebacker who had a great game last week, Capel in on that tackle.
Richland likes to try to run jet sweeps and a lot of east-west plays that'll try to get the ball to the perimeter. Johnson not as quick to the perimeter as his counterpart, Avion Shanklin, though, and Carroll's defense able to turn that play back.
Richland 2 of 3 on third down tries, looking at 3rd down and 11 here from the Rebel 14-yard line. Again, one receiver to the left. That's the short side of the field. They go with trips wide to the right. Johnson in the backfield alongside the quarterback Self. Takes the snap, play fake, going to throw over the middle. Has Denson caught outside the 30 and gets pounded at the 34, but hangs on to the football out to the 35. It is a 20-yard pass and run, but boy, that Aaron Denson has a little bit of something. He took a big hit from Robert Barnes, but held on to it.
That's an athletic catch, too. He had as he did, but nicely delivered ball by Wiley, and Richland moving the chains again.
1st down and 10 from the 35-yard line. This time 2 receivers left and right. Dragons go with a 3-man front, drop the extra defender into the secondary. Snap to Self, going to throw deep on the right side beyond the 50, and it is incomplete down around the 45, looking for Colton Curtis, the senior receiver. Buck is in the coverage. Obi Ebo, by the way, checks back into the Dragon defense.
Yeah, a little fade route there. Curtis breaking for that right sideline. Ball thrown maybe just a little off target, but I don't think he could have come down with it inbounds anyway.
Boy, Denson, 5 catches, 80 yards already tonight for the Richland Rebels. And the TD, yep. 2nd down and 10 from the 35-yard line. Richland with the football on their own side of the 50. 1:51 to go in the first quarter. Jordan Wiley is in the game. The right side, and the pass is caught out at the 46-yard line by Landon Lee. Barrett Buck on the tackle to pick up of 11 yards and another 1st down.
Lee, the slot receiver, just runs a little curl route, turns in front of the marker. He had inside position over Barrett Buck, who came downhill hard, but Lee knew exactly where he needed to be, and he was there to get the 1st down. Good-looking slot receiver.
Well, now we have confusion in the backfield. We've got 2 quarterbacks, and we don't know who's going to take the snap. Looks like Self will be the guy. They've got Wiley out there lined up just to his left, so both quarterbacks in the backfield on 1st down and 10 for the Richland 46-yard line. Late in the first quarter, bring a man in motion, snap it to Self, throws over the middle. It's caught. Denson inside the 45, down to the Dragon 43-yard line he goes. It's a gain of 11 yards on the play.
Denson's a kid that played as a reserve last year. He's worked hard and earned the starting role this year, so he's been a little bit below radar for college scouts. He's already got a couple of offers, and you got to think if he continues to put up numbers like this, given the defenses he'll face in this district, that's a kid who's going to help his stock a little bit more every Friday night.
1st down and 10 at the 43-yard line, Carroll side of the 50, as Pinkston and Wiley in the backfield. Self the quarterback, so a 2-back set. Snap it to Self, and he gives it on the zone read to Wiley, and he'll bounce outside the left, but he cuts it inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line. Gain of 5. Doddridge got him down low on the tackle. Maybe the next to last play of the first quarter, as we're down under 30 seconds to go in quarter number 1. Dragons leading 7-6, but Richland again on the move down to the 38-yard line. Jacob Doddridge comes out down to 14, now 13 and 12. Boy, Richland may not run another play. They may let this quarter expire. So we're down to 10 and 9 and 8. And yeah, that's what they're going to do. No more in the first quarter. We are through 1 in Southlake. Homecoming 2015 and a good game early. It's Carroll 7 and Richland 6. And 7-6, Dragons on top of the Rebels as we go to quarter number 2 here at Dragon Stadium. 2nd down, a long pass over the left side, down around the 20-yard line, incomplete, looking for Landon Lee. Barrett Buck was over there for the Dragons. Make it 3rd down and 5 at the 38-yard line. As the pass floated over on the left side on 3rd down and 5, and it's incomplete, intended for Landon Lee. Barrett Buck again over in the coverage. And now it's 4th down as they go now to 3 of 5 on 3rd down conversions to the Rebels.
So on both 2nd and 3rd down, Self looking for Lee on that out route about 15 yards downfield, but both times very well covered by Barrett Buck, and he had a little help on the 3rd down play.
Well, with this stiff wind across Breeze, not to mention the fact they don't have a kicker that's good from 55, they're going to go ahead and go for it here. 4th down and 5 from the 38-yard line as the snap to the quarterback, Self, and play was whistled down before they started.
Start. Offense. Number 70. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
The ball marked back to the 43, yes.
That's been an issue for them. They've had 5 games this season where they've had 9 penalties or more.
Wow. Dragons don't have anybody back as the punt from Curtis is going to hit down inside the 10, goes to the goal line and into the end zone for the touchback. So the Dragons will have it with 11:37 to go in the second quarter, leading 7-6.
Carroll football, 1st and 10. Carroll ISD thanks.
Proud sponsor of Dragon football. It's on 1st down and 10. Carroll from its own 20-yard line with a swing pass from the quarterback Mason Holmes to Lil Jordan Humphrey as he will get 4 yards out to the 24-yard line before he's bumped out of bounds by Deshaun White, the sophomore will linebacker. Carroll get right back to the line of scrimmage as the running back, Lil Jordan Humphrey, will line up to the right of quarterback Mason Holmes. As Holmes, having a little trouble getting untracked again tonight, puts it in the belly of Humphrey, and he will bounce outside left, sheds one tackler at the 25, comes to the sideline to the 30, and give him 9 yards. It's going to be good for the 1st down, 1st and 10 Dragons.
Simple stretch play. Jordan likes to run behind that left side of the line. That's where he's had his success on the ground tonight.
One receiver short side left, 3 wide to the right. Holmes hands it again to Humphrey. They're going to bang him straight. Goes over left guard, and he gets 5 yards out to the 35-yard line. There's also a marker down. Could be a face mask coming. Herrera and Burgess on the tackle for the Richland Rebels.
Yeah, you see the flag down there. We're waiting for the preliminary signal.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 44 of the defense. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
So it was the tackler who got a piece of the face mask, and that will cost Richland 15 yards as we see Tommy Kane, the senior receiver for the Dragons, 5 catches, 43. As they'll line up 2 receivers to the left side, 2 to the right. Shamar Coleman, the backfield, alongside the quarterback, Holmes, and they will give it to Coleman, and he is met behind the line of scrimmage, dropped for a loss of 2. Back at the Carroll 48-yard line, Chance Garner, one of those Garner twins up front, pair of juniors, his brother Christian, usually plays right beside him. Will Allen is the one that also helped out from that end position.
That'll be Will Allen's 12th tackle for a loss on the season. He's done a tremendous job of getting upfield and collapsing plays in the backfield.
2nd down, 12 Dragons from the 48-yard line, up by 1 early in the second quarter. 7-6, 2 receivers left, 2 right, 4 across the front, had a jump in that defensive front, handed to Coleman. He has 5 yards down to the 45, and he gets belted down, almost beheaded around the 43 as Tom Herrera came popping through. It was Pete. It'll bring up a 3rd down and short for the Dragons.
Yeah, that was a high-impact collision. Wait and see what the flag is.
I would think it would be offside
Coming back
again.
Motion.
Maybe it was a motion that caused the offside. Therefore, it was a motion. Frank Wilcox will tell us about it.
And we'll listen when he does.
Neutral zone. Infraction. On the defense. 5-yard penalty. Replay. 2nd down.
I told you.
Well, they walked backwards, so that's what had me fooled.
If you just listen to me, don't believe what you see with your eyes. Listen to me.
I've known you for long enough to know better than to just make that a blanket policy.
5 penalties, 45 yards against Richland. The Dragons now with a 2nd down and 7. And it's going to be an inside give to Jordan Humphrey, and he tries to find running room, but instead the play is Humphrey is stopped at the Richland 47-yard line. Nothing doing.
Tries to reverse field, but he really doesn't have a whole lot of luck. Deshaun White there initially, and then he gets a little help from that secondary. 7 carries now roughly for 36 yards for Lil Jordan. His success has come when he gets to the outside. He's not finding the yards between the tackles.
Timeout. Richland.
Timeout call by Richland. 10:13 to go here in quarter number 2. Dragons leading at 7-6. Carroll football presented by Freeman Toyota continues in a moment. Out of the timeout, Dragons with a 3rd down and 7. Their first 3rd down of the night for the Richland 47-yard line. They go deep down the right side looking for Farrar, but it's incomplete just off his fingertips down around the Richland 5. Over the right sidelines, he was working against Kyle Atoka, but the pass incomplete. Kelly, it'll bring up 4th down and long.
That's one he should have had, just to go route on the sideline. Had 2 steps on Atoka. The ball was right there in his wheelhouse. That's just kind of a concentration error, and now Carroll facing 4th down, going to give the ball back to this Richland offense.
Jake Oldroyd in those lime green shoes, standing back inside his 40-yard line. They're going to punt this away and try to pin Richland deep at its 10-yard line. They've got Aaron Denson and Landon Lee in dual safety back at the 10. It's a short Carroll roll down around the 16. It'll be a 31-yard punt. And touchdown by Tyson Smider. It will be Richland taking over the football, 9:57 to go in the second quarter, trailing Carroll 7-6. Jordan Wiley back in at quarterback for Richland on 1st down and 10 from the 17-yard line, and he'll ride Riley Johnson and hand it off to the sophomore Seacat and Luke Jeter on the tackle for the Dragons.
Little inside carry. They like running inside with Riley Johnson. That's just where he's better and more comfortable to this point.
Wiley takes the snap, but a flag flies at the start of the play, and it's going to be a procedure call.
False start. Offense.
You're right.
5-yard penalty. Still second down.
How many times do I have to tell you that in one night? That'll cost him 5 yards.
That's 6 penalties for 50 yards on the night for Richland. That's pretty much in league with what they've done thus far this year, but not what Jed Cates wants.
Yep, certainly not. It's going to cost him a little bit. So now from the 16-yard line, looking at 2nd down and 12, 2 receivers. And the snap to the quarterback, Wiley, and he'll hand it off, and immediately breaking into the open now, Bakery to the 35 to the 30 and out of bounds at that point. A 52-yard burst before Obi Ebo gets Wiley across the boundary, but I think half the defense and me was fooled thinking he handed it off on the inside, and away he went Wiley to the Dragon 32-yard line. 4th and 10, Wiley hands it off right. A big hole up the middle to the 20 to the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Richland on a game of the Dragon defense, nobody home. 32 yards on the TD run by Riley Johnson, and Richland back now 12-7.
Tim Wasson isn't going to have. He's not a guy that ought to be outrunning the whole 4-7. It was just as you mentioned, nobody home in the middle of the field.
Cullen Zelmer on for the point after attempt of Colton Curtis. He missed the first one. It's up and good, so we've got a field with 9:01 to go here in the first half. Well, let's see what happens as the and the foot into it. No side. It's going to be booted all down to the Dragon 10. Would have went out of bounds. Coleman brings up the numbers across the 20, 30, still charging out the 40, and a 33 return out to the 43-yard line. Dragons will have 10 Evans on that tackle until halftime. 1st and 10, running play. The middle across the D and a good run into Richland territory. The 45-yard line goes little Jordan Humphreys to gain 12 yards on the play.
Carroll needed that.
Yeah, they did. Prior to that, they so now 68 yards total offense for compared to 2-1 for Richland.
You extrapolate those numbers out over 48 minutes, and that is not anything to be real with.
Right set, bring a man motion, a little toss to Johansson. Tries right to tackle at the 40, inside of the 40, and gets 7 yards down to the 38 rush of the year. This yard before he was brought down by Landon Lee. The Dragons now 38-yard line. 8:50 in the second quarter. Rebels up 13-7, but Carroll moving them right to left on the march. Jordan Humphrey breaks the tackle, the line of scrimmage, will surge ahead for the first down inside the 30 down to the 34. And first at that point, tackle made Christopher Spence, the junior left end. Cole also helping out from his safety spot.
Yeah, out of kind of an or a diamond formation back there with Mason Holmes giving little Jordan.
First down and 10 for the Richland 34. Snap it to Holmes. Handoff goes to Humphrey, and he'll go straight ahead inside the 35, inside the 30, I should say, down to the 29 as Herrera on the tackle for the Rebels.
See, and here's what happens when you commit to the running game this possession. Dragons 2nd and 5, moving the ball pretty nicely here.
See if they keep it on the ground. They do. Handoff comes to Coleman, bouncing outside left at the 30. Gets inside the 25-yard line. Going to be stopped right there. Gain of about 3 on the play. Deshaun White and Landon Lee on the tackle for the Rebels. But again, Kelly, you call it. The Rebels going. The Dragons are they're going on the ground and just marching down the field.
Well, you're playing big boy football now. This Rebel defense is pretty good at defending the run. The defensive line flows well to the ball. The safeties are good in run support. Coleman was looking for a cutback lane, maybe into the B gap. There just wasn't anything there.
Dragons 0 of 1 on third down tries. Need a yard here, and they'll give it to and it's little Jordan Humphrey. He'll get 7 yards down to the 21-yard line on a simple handoff over left tackle. And it'll be first down, exactly 7 minutes to go here until halftime.
And this can be important. Carroll needs to bring those safeties down to the line of scrimmage, and maybe that opens things up over the top.
Dragons now down to the Richland 21-yard line, knocking on the edge of the red zone. As the snap to Mason Holmes, and he will hand it off to Jack Johansson. He breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage to the 20. Gets down to the 15-yard line and now down to the 14 as he came to his left to get 7 yards before James Evans makes the stop for the Rebels. Again, the Dragons keep the foot on the gas as they come right back to the line of scrimmage.
On that left side of the Carroll offensive front has been playing well all season, but particularly tonight, Long and Tribble are really opening up holes.
Timeout on the field called by Richland. Will break with him. 6:26 to go. Until halftime. Dragons trailing 13-7. Carroll. That's why they've got a 2nd down and 3 at this point. Out of the Richland needed a breather on defense as they'll hand it off. And a running play up the middle. Humphrey gets to the end zone. 14 yards. Touchdown Dragons. Lil Jordan Humphrey straight up the middle as he ran over Hill and Lee at the end zone.
That's almost like counter action. That play looks like it's set to go to the right side. Patient on the give to Lil Jordan. He burrows through the middle. It's like a gap between Hubble and Long, and he is off to the races.
Point after attempt brought to you by County Commissioner Gary Fickus. Cole Ramage perfect on the year. 19 of 19. Will it be 20 in a row? The kick is up, and it is good. Time Phil, 6:21 to go till halftime. Our new score, Carroll 14 and Richland 13. Looking at the uniforms for the Richland Rebels, a little bit of an aesthetic note that I'm seeing. It was pointed out actually before the game by our spotter, Brandon Carpenter, and we'll talk about it in just a moment. As the ball teed at the 40-yard line in the Sewell Cadillac of Grapevine kickoff off the foot of Jake Old. He's going to come down a yard deep in the end zone, be fielded there by James Evans, and he will go to a knee. And they'll take it at their 25-yard line. It's on 1st down and 10. Play fake, and the quarterback Wiley in trouble, gets pressured, and he might get to the line of scrimmage. I think he got dropped for a loss of 1, so that counts as a sack for Peter, who will pick up his 2nd sack of the year. That'll bring up 2nd down and 11. Now, if you're the Rebels, you've got half the second quarter to go. You have played one of the top teams in the area, basically hammer and tong all the way. So Richland really looking for a first down here. As they line up 2 receivers either side, snap it to the quarterback, Wiley, and he'll hand it to Riley Johnson, and he will smash that left guard for about 3 as he gets out across the 25, out to the 27-yard line. Grant McFarland on the stop. On our Kincaid's Hamburgers out-of-town scoreboard, District 7-6A tonight, Colleyville Heritage, Oliver Halton 22-7. That one, the Burgville Fine Arts and Athletic Complex. In the second, last night, Trinity defeated Bell 56-17 at Pennington. Right here, it's 14-13. Dragons on top as the Rebels 3 of 5 on third down tries. Have it at their own 28-yard line, needing 7 yards. Low snap for the quarterback. Wiley picks it up, throws over the middle. It is caught beyond the first down to the 42-yard line. Goes who else? Aaron Denson, gain of 15 on the play. Obi Ebo on the tackle for the 2, not 23. And Wiley to Denson again. And another first down for the Rebels as they've got it from the 42.
A deep square in right about Denson. He had inside position and 2 steps on the nearest defender. That was an easy first down.
Here is the snap to the quarterback, Wiley, and the handoff goes to Riley Johnson. The sophomore gets hit right at the line of scrimmage, but look at the pile. It keeps surging. It goes ahead from the 42 to the 43 to the 45 and finally ends at the 45. They had him stop for nothing, and they wind up getting 3 yards.
That's not just second effort. That's third and fourth effort. He kept the legs driving. That play took longer than probably any other snap of the game. But
Jeter, Miller, Smider, McFarland all in there. Second down and about 7. Quarterback try. Keep seconds to go. First half. Richland all out of timeouts and used all 3. The Dragons on top 14-13 as Miller and Smider in on that last tackle. Remember, the Dragons playing without Grant Phelps, injured last week, and without John Miskell as a key performer the first 3 games of the year. 4 of 6 on third down tries are the Rebels. They need 6 yards for their own 46-yard line. Going left to right, playing near the midfield stripe for their own 46. Bring a man in motion from left to right. And they're going to hand it straight up the middle. It goes Riley Johnson, and the sophomore gets belted by Ivy C. The leading tacklers on this Dragon team. And Russell, the fourth, makes that stop. It'll bring up fourth down, and now Richland, it looks like, will be forced to punt.
I like the design of the play. They send Lee in motion, maybe faking the jet sweep, but trying to clear out a safety. Defense, though, not fooled. Riley Johnson may wind up paying for that touchdown. It's been hard sledding for him since then.
Well, it looks like
another penalty?
Yeah, Dylan Pinkston, the junior, was trying to sneak off the field, and he was like a puppy dog that got caught doing something wrong. He was trying to get the corner of the yard before somebody saw him. The thing that he did wrong, he was the 12th man in the huddle, and that is Frank Wilcox is about to tell us about it as he picks up the flag after the 7th penalty for 55 yards. Maybe he won't tell us about it.
There's no foul.
Well, that's why. There is no foul. So move that back. 6 penalties, 55 yards. Now very excited.
Well, the penalty tracking is keeping him busy over there.
Now we've got a different quarterback in the ball.
He was the backup last year, so he knows what to do with the ball.
They've got Wiley to slot as they're going to go for it on 4th down and 7 for the Richland 45. Now Curtis, now wait a minute. Possum, because he's the punter. He scoots back, takes the snap, and kicks this away. The Dragons have nobody back, and it's going to hit down inside the 15-yard line and take a right turn and go out of bounds. Yeah, see, those sneaky Rebels. 42 yards on the punt, and Carroll will have it with 2:45 to go until halftime from their own the 14-yard line. Snap it to the quarterback Holmes, and they'll give it on a running play to Humphrey, who goes right tackle for no gain, actually knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Boy, the Dragons haven't been able to get anything going out of the running game the last 2 weeks, as Will Allen is the one that makes the tackle, and we've got an injured field, and it's Humphrey who's down. Oh boy, not a fellow you want to see on the field at any point in time, but especially not with Trinity looming on the horizon. Duff's Famous Swing sideline update with Travis.
Humphrey needed help actually getting off the field. He's limping. It is his left knee is what's bothering him, but needing help off the field can't be a good sign.
So he is off here to the near sideline. It'll put Shamar Coleman in the backfield. It means they'll have to find another receiver to come in the game. That'll be Tommy Kane, who joins the other 4, which is Duhan, Johansson, and Farrar, as they'll go with a 2-by 2nd down and 9 from the Dragon 15.5-yard line. Snap it to Holmes. They'll hand it to Coleman. He gets hit right at the line of scrimmage, knocked down. Coleman, yeah, it was Coleman that got knocked down. Okay. Coleman. Yeah, it was Coleman, but Spence was the one that got him, and it's a loss of a couple. It looked like they were chasing somebody else down the field. Someone else had the football, but they'd already tackled.
You know, part of that is because Jack Johansson's going downfield and hitting people.
Yeah.
He is downfield blocking. He is taking.
Okay, that's who it was.
He's playing to the whistle.
Wow. Carroll 1 of 2 on 3rd down tries, but they need 12 yards here from their own 13-yard line. Mason Holmes looks to the near sideline, gets the play call, and they are going to change the play as Coleman switches from his right to his left, and the snap to Holmes, and he gets ready to throw near his end zone, goes over the middle, and Tommy Kane catches the pass out at the 31-yard line. That's 19 yards and a first down from Holmes to Kane, who makes his 6th catch of the year. The senior hauls that one in. First down.
Deep crossing route. Does a nice job catching a perfectly thrown ball by Holmes.
1:29 to go until halftime. Dragons with the ball, 1st down and 10 from their own 31. Again, the play changed from the sideline as the call goes into Holmes. quarterback keep, and he'll go around the right end from the 35 out to the 40 and get the first down, 11 yards out to the 42-yard line. As they again run that zone read, instead of handing off, they let Holmes carry the football. He hasn't done that much this year. That's only the 14th time he's carried the ball all season.
Sneaky.
Yep, a little different look from what we saw last year with Ryan Agnew. First down and 10 Dragons from their 42-yard line, leading by 1 as we come down on a minute to go in the first half. Here's Holmes back to throw, and here's something we don't see often. He's hit and sacked back at the 32-yard sack as he buried Holmes of 9.
And it looked like he came almost unblocked.
55 seconds to go until the intermission. Dragons with the second down and 18 at the 33. To snap it to Mason Holmes, and he throws over the right side. It's caught at the 50-yard line. Farrar steps away from a defender, gets across the midfield stripe, and over on the right, he's bumped out of bounds after a gain of 20 yards all the way down to the Richland 45-yard line. Deshaun White, the sophomore, with the tackle.
I think that's Farrar's first catch on the evening, and it comes at a good time. Again, a little out route past the sticks, and he very nearly breaks that like he did last week against Capel. Made the catch, beat the guy on the sideline, and got to the end zone.
Snap it to Holmes. First and 10 from the Richland 45-yard line. Going to throw a deep post over the middle, and it is caught inside the 30 down to the 27. 18 yards to Jack Johansson, the junior, who picks up his 4th reception of the year. Lee on the tackle, but the Dragons are on the move.
He did a nice job.
On 10 from the 27-yard line. 2 receivers left and right. Holmes has the snap, has time, throws left side, caught down at the 15, spinning out of a tackle. Cam Duhon now still on his feet as he gets inside the 15 and is bumped out of bounds to the 14. Deshaun White, the sophomore linebacker, on the stop, gain of 14 yards. Another Dragon. 27 seconds to go until half.
Not a big deal with 2 timeouts and still 27 seconds, but sometimes you try for the extra yards and you just wind up burning clock. Might have been smart to just get out of bounds.
Now the Dragons going to the 5-wide set as they empty out the backfield as Coleman lines up in a side. They've got 3 receivers wide to the right. 4 across the front for Richland. Here is Holmes looking to the near sideline, and now we get timeout called by Carroll. We'll break. Well, the Dragons had to use their second timeout. They've got 1 left, 27 seconds to go until the intermission, 14-13. Carroll on top. They've got it at the Richland 14-yard line. Mason Holmes, who had a little shaky start early in this game, much like he did in Coppell. On this drive, though, 4 of 4 for 72 yards right down the field. From the 14, they go with a 5-wide set. Holmes looking for a receiver, throws for the end zone. It's caught, touchdown. Zach Farrar hauls it in, 14 yards on the scoring pass, and the Dragons extend their lead. It's now 20-13.
That was easy. Farrar just turned. I can't see that. It looked like that was P.J. Hill trying to cover him.
Ramage in for the point after. Out of the hole.
Cole Ramage for the point after attempt, brought to you by County Commissioner Gary Fickus. Montana Murphy, who had a game-saving hold on a field goal last week, puts it on the tee, and he's good, is Ramage. And 21 seconds to go until halftime. We'll hold here with the Dragons leading 21-13. And a squib kick on the Sewell, kind of like a grapevine kickoff, touched one of the Rebels and went out of bounds. And they'll have it about the 30-yard line with 21 seconds left to go here in quarter number 2. First down and 10 from the 29-yard line. They'll line up 3 receivers to the left, 1 running back, snapper to the quarterback, and it's Wiley who will go to a knee, and they won't fool around. It's a good half for the Richland Rebels, and they will take it happily and head for the locker room as the clock down to 5 seconds and now 4 and 3. And both teams heading for the respective cave. Well, the Carroll Dragons are going to get the football. They won the toss and deferred to the second half, and Carroll will be going from left to right here in the third quarter. They're wearing the green tops over the white pants with the white numerals, the white headgear, and the Dragon iconic logo on the side of the helmet. For Richland, they are in the traveling white tops and bottoms. They've got the blue striping, dark blue striping on the pants with the blue numerals. They've got the white headgear with the blue stripe and the metallic over the metallic look as they get set to boot it away. Again, they go from west to east, right to left, Dragons left to right as we look at it here in quarter number 3. Here's the approach, the Sewell Cadillac of Grapevine kickoff by Zellner, and that is going to be fielded at the 22-yard line, I think, with a fair catch. Let's see where they spot it. Maybe up around the 18 is where they're going to eventually put it. And the Dragons will have it there as Jackson Davis hauled it in. And the Carroll offense comes out first down and 10. 21-13, Dragons on top as we start the third quarter. Mason Holmes, the junior quarterback for the Dragons, will come out with Shamar Coleman at a receiver position, along with Cam Duhan, along with Zach Farrar and Jack Johansson. And look at this. That tape job must have worked because the little Jordan Humphrey is in the backfield. Is that taped ankle and lines up in a two-back set along with the quarterback Holmes. Been around right in, and he has room across the 20. Spins out of a tackle 25, still going to the 30, and he's out to the 33-yard line. A nifty gain of 15 by Happy Feet Mason Holmes. I'm not sure if they kind of messed up on the handoff, and it might have been a busted play, but he still got 15 before Curtis and White made the tackle.
And while you don't ever expect him to become Riley Dodge or Ryan Agnew, he does give a little extra dimension to this offense when he's able to carry, and he's done a fairly decent job of that both last week and this.
Offensive line for the Dragons started with Tribble, Long, Hubble, Sanford, and Green to start the game, and it's the same five they go with up front here in quarter number 3. On first down and 10 from the 33, snap it to Holmes, throws right side. The pass is low and incomplete. He was looking for Farrar, but threw it down around his ankles as Kyle Itoko was over in the coverage for Richland.
Out right by the sideline. It looked like there was plenty of time for Holmes to throw. He just didn't have enough mustard on that one.
Second down, 10. Dragons playing from the middle of the field from the 33-yard line. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Holmes looks to the sideline for the play call. Dragons on the near side, the north side, here on a sold-out night. Homecoming 2015. Snap to Holmes. Pressure up the middle. They pick it up. Throws complete out to the 40-yard line. Breaking a tackle. Johansson gets to the 50. Right sideline to the 45. No, they say he stepped out of bounds back at the 47 in Richland territory. It's a gain of 21 yards. Itoko bumped him out. First down, Carroll.
Nice job slipping the tackle of Joey Cole, the 5'8 strong safety. That's a guy that's got little man syndrome. Plays with a chip on his shoulder, plays for the big hit, didn't wrap and tackle, and that got Johansson the yardage for the first down.
They start 5. There's a marker down as he gets to the 42, and he's bumped out of bounds. P.J. Hill bumped him out. Now I'll have to check and see the infractions. Okay, Ned, was that a pass actually? Is that... No, that is a running play.
That was a run.
Ned has me twisted in circles right now. I don't know what is what.
We're waiting on Frank now.
Now we've got a discussion between Travis on the sidelines and Ned here in the booth on whether that was a pass or a run.
Holding on the offense. Number 51. 10 yards from the previous spot. First down.
Frank Wilcox says it is neither. Now you two quit bickering.
Yes, there you go.
Moot point. The play will come back after a 10-yard penalty. That is the Dragons' first penalty of the ball game. Will Allen, Cole Burgess, Kason Clark, Tom Herrera, Deshaun White, the linebackers. Give you the secondary in a moment as the Dragons go flying on first down and 20 from back of their 43-yard line. 3 receivers line up wide to the left, 2 short side to the right. That is Cole Farrar up to the near side. As the snap comes, he pumps, can't find a receiver. Tom runs up, has 5 to the 45 to the 40-yard line, and he's tackled right on the numbers after 18 as P.J. Hill, free safety, made the stop for the Rebels.
I think that might have been a designed run. Holmes looks to his left, almost a pump fake, and then just tucks it, pulls it, and runs. He works from the middle of the field back to the right and gets all back up and really gets the first down.
5 wide set again, just underway. Third quarter, Dragons up by, but they're on the move. Just inside the for Cole. The pass was incomplete. That pass kind of floated. Joey Cole came in and laid the lumber to the intended receiver to bring up a third down here.
That was a call there because from where we're sitting, our angle, it could very easily, it had the look of a backwards lateral. So when that ball, Johansson could go back and jump on it, but since it was called a forward pass, definitely convertible third and short. They're 2 third downs tonight.
They need a little more than a yard inside the little Jordan Humphrey in the backfield to the right of Holmes, and will give him the football. Right down, that's the first down, sheds the tackler at the 35. Gets to 30 and is knocked gain of 10 on the tackle made by Chris Spence. The junior left in Will Allen also there with the first out of the sticks.
Once the Dragons start committing to the running game, good things happen. They get into a ring dinged up in the first half.
Humphrey and Farr line and a slow toss up the football, and Zach gets the block inside the 20. Hurdles a defender 10 to the 5, and a highlight reel touch. Jordan Humphrey as literally Kelly hurdled a defender right about the 10 and goes into the end zone. Touchdown, Dragons.
It's good to be said with long legs. He does literally just jump over Curtis, 5'9" safety, and then skates his way into the end zone. That's pretty.
Wow. Okay, if this game is that would be four center plays out about as the point after attempt come from Cole Ramage, who's looking to go perfect 4 for 4 tonight. Montana Murphy for the hold, and the kick is up, and it is good. Timeout on the score, Carroll 28 and Richland 13. 9:52 to go, third quarter. Dragons on top, 28-13. The Ozarka brand 100% natural spring water scoring drive. 7 plays, 82 yards, takes 2 minutes and 8 seconds. And Lil Jordan Humphrey with a 29-yard TD run, and that burst again, including a hurdle of a defender as he was inside the 20 heading down to the 10, and the defender tried to go low on him. Little Jordan said, I'll just step right over you and get the touchdown, as the Sewell Cadillac of Grapevine kickoff is going to sail into the end zone, and it will be brought out to the 25, where Richland will start first and 10 from the 25-yard line. There's a pass to the right side, and it's incomplete, intended for Colton as Jackson Davis was out in the coverage. That'll bring up a second down.
Happy birthday from the class of 2000.
I'm getting a little grief from down on the sidelines.
It's a valid point. I think it needs to be addressed.
Well,
you've given grilling responsibilities.
You know, my wife knows how to cook, and she can cook a steak on the grill. I would rather eat one there than go pay all kinds of big money for one that's not as good. Here's the quarterback on second down and 10, rolling to the near side, and Wiley gets a pass out to Landon Lee, and it's caught for a gain of 3 over to the left sidelines, gets from the 25 to the 28. So, no, you cannot take my man card. I'm fairly happy with my wife cooking steaks on the egg. Third down and 7 from the 28, as Richland has been good on third downs tonight. 4 out of 7. Curtis and Johnson line up in a slot to the near side. Actually, the running backs, beg your pardon, they're in the running back positions behind Wiley. They've got 1 man to the near side, 2 out to the right. Snap it to Wiley, starts to roll to his right, now throws back to the left, has an open receiver. It's Colton Curtis across the 35, gets to the 40, and he's got the first down. And Robert Barnes on the tackle for the Dragons, but a nifty play and a first down for the Rebels.
Yeah, Wiley does a nice job selling that. It looks like the play is going to flow to the right, and then he counters back and throws to Curtis on the weak side, and he gets first down yardage. This is an important drive for Richland. They try to keep it to 1 score so that they're within striking distance late.
First and 10 for the 46-yard line. Snap it to Wiley, and the inside pitch goes to Denson. He's going to try to sweep the right side and runs into traffic, and he is going to be dropped back at the 45. It's a loss of 2 on the play. We saw that play run by the Dragons twice. This time they do it with the inside flip to Denson, and he gets knocked down for a loss of 2. Doddridge along with Cantor and Jeter on the tackle.
The Dragon defense does a nice job stringing out jet sweep. If you run it on the Dragons, it might work in the first half. It doesn't always work so well in the second half, and they did a nice job playing that one to the sideline and not giving Denson any room to make the cutback.
After Wiley can't find a receiver, tucks it down, goes right past the Dragon defender, and he gets tripped up with an ankle tackle by Matt Warner, who's been playing a pretty good game, the sophomore from the inside linebacker position, right at the 47-yard line, a gain of 3. So that'll bring up third down and long. They need about 9.
Warner showing good awareness there. When Wiley takes off with that 4.6 acceleration, he can be hard to bring down, and that really was the epitome of an ankle tackle, but if you're Carroll, you'll take it. It's now 3rd and long. Richland 5 of 8 on the night on third down conversions.
Well, it's an excellent percentage, much higher than the Dragons normally give up, right around 39%. So they're cracking much higher tonight at 63%. Here is a 3rd and 9 snap. The quarterback, Wiley, can't get away from a defender. Now does. Now a Dragon jumps on his back and knocks him down. That's Jeter all the way back at the 37-yard line. 10 yards on the sack. Miller was the one that got in on, got pressure, and got him down low. And then
They're coming with the blitz.
37-yard line.
Looks like it was Werner getting initial pressure, forcing Wiley out of his comfort zone, and then, yes, Jeter coming in to finish him off. So that's the third sack of the night by the Dragon defense. They weren't getting any pressure early. They've done a much better job really since about the last 2 minutes of the first quarter.
looks like it was Doddridge in there too for the Dragons, trying to track him down. Dragons don't have anybody back to return the punt, as this one is hit from the 30-yard line. Is going to go down into Dragon territory inside the 30 down to the 27, I think. So we're going to down it. And the Dragons live it up for a 37-yard punt. 6:37 to go in the third quarter. Carroll on top, 28-13. Dragons from their own 27-yard line. We'll start with a 3-receiver set to the left, 1 to the right. As the quarterback Holmes takes the snap, flares it out, left side complete. This is Coleman, shakes the tackle. The 5 yards out to the 32-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down and 5 with Cole and Hill on that last tackle.
Dragons just trying to get the ball to Coleman in space. It's not always going to be the big play. That's one pretty well defended by Richland on that one. But, go back to that, and it may be there later. Either way, nice play on first down.
2nd down and 10 from the 32. Dragons leading 28-13 midway through the third quarter. Snap it to Holmes, fires out of the left side. It's caught at the 40-yard line by Tommy Kane, who makes his sound.
Nice execution. Kane does a good job on the out route, keeping his feet in bound and ensuring that he makes the catch before the sideline.
Dragons get right back to the line of scrimmage with the 1st and 10. They are going to line up a wing set to the right, 3 receivers also to the right. That's Johansson in the wing. They're going to give it Lil Jordan Humphrey. Big running room left to the 45 to the 50 and into Richland territory. Gets pulled down after a 15-yard gain at the 45 as James Evans making the tackle, but the Dragons moving right down the field.
That's a nifty little play, longest run of the night for Lil Jordan, kind of a weak side counter. They line up, as you mentioned, the wing and trips to the right, and then they give it back to Lil Jordan to the left. The way he went down might not be real good for the ankle, but he looked good on that run.
1st down and from the 45-yard line. Snap it to Holmes, puts it in the belly of Humphrey. He had nothing doing as he was met by James Evans, but he spun out and managed to get 5.
We've seen him reverse field like that so often this year. He is literally met at the line of scrimmage, spins out of it to the left, and turns a potentially negative play into a 5-yard gain on 1st down.
2nd down, 5 at the 40.
107 yards on the night for Lil Jordan Humphrey.
Well, let's check his receiving, because he's coming up on another milestone as the will get inside the 35-yard line down to the 32 to the 31. Gain of 9 yards on the play for Shamar Coleman, who carried that time. Will Allen on the tackle. Humphrey tonight needed 179 yards. No, 100,000 for his year. So see if he's bearing down on that. Here's a play fake and a pass over the middle from the 30 from Holmes down to Jack Johansson. Caught inside the 10, and he gets down to the 7. It's a gain of 23 yards. P.J. Hill and Landon Lee on the tackle.
Play action to Shamar Coleman, who looks like he's going to run that little stretch play off to the right. Then he hits Johansson on a seam right route, just splits 2 defenders.
1st down and goal from the 8. Handed to Humphrey, coming right side, barrels down to the 5, gets to the right sideline to the 4, and his tackle there. Landon Lee on the stop. They said he got out of bounds, I think. No, it's a flag. That's what it is. Stops the play clock with 4:26 to go in the third quarter, and Frank Wilcox is going to talk about it with one of his officials. That's the headlinesman across the way, and we'll see what the call will be, as they are still 38 yards of total offense in the game. Again, he needed 178 to go to 4,000 yards in his Dragon career.
Well, we're still awaiting word on the penalty, but here comes Frank.
We have a dead ball. Personal foul against number 3 of the offense. Grabbing the face mask. 15 yards. 2nd down.
Ouch. Tommy Kane.
Not a drive helper right there.
No. Hey, the Kellys are listening right now. I want to say hi to the aforementioned Amanda, the grill master, just a moment ago.
She texted me moments ago. And you know what it says?
What?
It says, the truth is, I grill everything.
Oh, has been known to exaggerate. I want to say hi to Cameron and Kaylin. Hope you had a great night tonight. They had the mother-son out there with the moms and the sons. So, hey, Kaylin, hey, Cameron, getting ready for a Dragon Youth football game tomorrow. The Gold Dragons are undefeated.
Good luck, Kalen. Hit him hard, hit him low.
Yep, he's been getting it. I like seeing that. First down and goal to go for the Dragons. Although they've got 2 on the down box over there. It is first down, isn't it?
No, they said second down.
Oh, it is dead ball. Okay, second down. So call it second down and goal to go from the 15.5-yard line as they've got 2 receivers left and right for the quarterback. Holmes looks back for the play call. Now has it. They stay with the same one they had, it looks like. Here comes a 5-man rush. Holmes going to throw left side. Caught at the 10-yard line. It is Coleman who's going to spin his way down to the 5 over near the left sidelines. And James Evans brings him down at the 5.
Coleman makes his turn, his cut to the outside left, and the ball is right there. Gets back a lot of the yardage. Third and goal. This is a little more convertible. Carroll 3 of 4 on the night on third down conversions.
So now from the 5-yard line, Holmes again looks to the near sideline for the call. They've got backs Humphrey and Johansson in the backfield. Dragons trying to extend this lead. It's 28-13 as they snap it to Holmes. He has time, a little pressure, throws for the end zone. It's deflected and it's incomplete. He was looking for Duhan, but he had double coverage provided back there. P.J. Hill was there along with James Evans. Dragons get stalled on the 4th and goal of the 5-yard line. They'll have to bring on the field goal team.
Well, and it's not just double coverage. It looked like P.J. Hill was trying to borrow his jersey, and I didn't see a flag thrown, but I wouldn't have been surprised if I had.
2-yard attempt, Montana Murphy to hold, and Cole Ramage on to try to tack on as the kick is on the way. It is good, and the Dragons make it 31-13 with 3:13 to go in quarter number 3. A timeout tonight. Here's the Sewell Cadillac of Grapevine kickoff into the end zone. Bobbled there for a minute by James Evans. It back out across the 5 to the 10 to the 11. So probably not a good decision to bring it out, and that's where Richland will start, trailing 31-13 with 3:12 to go in quarter number 3. On 1st and 10 for the 12-yard line, a handoff, and a short gain of about a yard goes to Riley Johnson, the sophomore, as Grant McFarland and Ryan Miller. Hey, did you catch that bit? Those guys on the tackle, by the way. Did you catch the I was talking to Grant McFarland on the player profile about his 21st cousins. Asked him if he could name all of them. He said, absolutely.
That's pretty impressive.
I'm not sure if you put 20 of my closest family members in front of me, I'd know all their names. Second down and 9 from the Here's the snap to the quarterback, throwing near side. Wiley trying to find a receiver out near the 30, and it's incomplete. It was intended to bring up a 3rd down and 9.
Good use of the hands by Buck. He breaks in at exactly the right time as the ball arrives, gets his hand in the way. Landon Lee, a kid game after Wes Welker. He's a junior. That's a kid that'll play some college ball somewhere. Also probably going to be valedictorian of his class. Very impressive young man.
Richland 5 of 9 on 3rd down tries. They need 9 yards here from their own 13-yard line. Dragons leading 31-13 here early in late quarter number 3. 2:30 to go in the period. Snap it to Wiley. Can't find a receiver. Tucks it down. Starts to run up the middle and gets knocked down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Matt Werner and Luke Jeter combining on the tackle. So this is that point of the game as Richland will face a 4th and 9 and be forced to punt. Start kind of put the hammer lock on this one. You would
lead and 2 minutes clock running here in the 3rd quarter. This is where it's starting to get away from Richland. But if this is in fact that point, you have to give a lot of credit to Jed Cates and his staff.
First 3 and out of the game for Richland as we go down to Travis at a Dust Famous Swing sideline update.
So different punt returners throughout the season. All of them have muffed punts. So the one guaranteed way to not have a returner muff a punt, you don't have one.
That's
3
right.
times in a row they
That's
have not
right.
had a punt returner.
That's absolutely correct. 3 times the Dragons have not put a punt return man back, and the kick goes across the 50-yard line, and to the Dragon 49, and that's where it is touchdown. And Carroll will have it at that point. 1:38 to go here in the third quarter. First down and 10 from the 49-yard line. Quarterback Mason Holmes hands it to Shamar Coleman. He starts around the left end. Stiff arms one tackler and will get about 3 yards, maybe 4, inside the 48-yard line in Rebel territories. Will Allen makes the stop.
Deshaun White, the sophomore Will Line, first guy there. He was the victim or recipient of the stiff arm. White's really good. He's mobile and he can hit, but the mechanics of tackling are an area where he needs a little work.
Yard line, one receiver to the left. Kane, Johansson, and Farrar, the trips to the right. Snap it home off Coleman. Slashes at right tackle. Has yardage inside the 45. Gets all the way down near the 40-yard line. They'll stop him a yard short at the 41. It's a gain of 7. It'll be very close for the first down on the Kincaid's Hamburgers out-of-town scoreboard. District 7 6A scores tonight. Well, only one besides this one. Heritage over Haltom, 38-7. That one at the Birdville Fine Arts and Athletic Complex in Haltom City. Right here, Dragons leading at 31-13, down to 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. 2 receivers left to the wide side, 2 short side to the right. As Richland with 4 across the front, 2 linebackers, the 4-2-5 defense against this Dragon attack. And the pass is incomplete as it was knocked away from Kyle Itoka. There's also a marker down on the play. In fact, it was right down there where the pass was attempted to be caught. And Farrar saying, come on, man, it's got to be on the defense.
They could call battery on that. We'll see what they do.
Well, Frank Wilcox has been a busy guy tonight. Talking
Pass
about
interference. Defense. Number 10. 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
Talking about Richland penalties. 7 of those, 65 yards.
And you know, that's the best night in terms of penalties they've had all season. Through 6 games, they've gone 9 for 75, 9 for 96, 12 for 90, 13 for 111 against Haltom. So they draw some flags.
To the left, 2 short side right. Quarterback Holmes looks to the sideline for the play call. Now adjust Coleman from his left to his right. Dragons going to our right here in the third quarter. Snap it to Holmes. Hit as he gets rid of it. Dumps it off Coleman. Tries to make a tackle or miss. At the 25, he does. Shades another at the 20. And will get down inside to the 16-yard line. Gain of 10 yards. And we'll stop the clock momentarily to set the chains. And that should be the final play of the third quarter. Tom Herrera on that tackle. And they will put the clock back in motion. And that will let the final seconds tick off the third quarter clock. And that'll send us to the fourth. The score, 1 and Richland 13. Dragon quarterback Mason Holmes as they flip the field, now going to our left. That is to the east end zone. Waiting on the snap. And he's got it. Plenty of time. Protection great. Throws toward the end zone. Pass is caught. Farrar's got it at the end zone. Touchdown. Zach Farrar just kind of backed up over the defender. He knew he was bigger, gathered the ball in, and gets the score. And the Dragons have now extended the lead. It's 37-13.
Just kind of an in route, little box, and then over. And Farrar, again, has his back to the defender as the ball arrives and then just leans his weight over the goal line.
Is up. Brought to you by County Commissioner Gary Fickus. It's good. Timeout of the field with 11:54 fourth quarter. Our new score becomes Carroll 38 and Richland 13. Jake Oldroyd going to come down to the 10-yard line. Fielded there by James Evans. Comes back middle of the field, 20 to the 30. Gets a little break up the middle to the 40-yard line. And finally will be brought down at the 43. It's a gain of 33 yards. Hank Kutamanos was the one who made the tackle for the Dragons on the attack team. As on first down and 10, it'll be Jordan Wiley who dances around the left side for a gain of 6 yards. It'll bring up second 4. Thanks also to our good friend Tommy Pennington for bringing you Dragon football when it comes to South Lake. Tommy's one of the biggest supporters of the community. And, of course, the Carroll Dragons. If you have a move on the way, Tommy Pennington can help you. Go online to calltommy.com. There's a little play fake on second down and 3 yards to go. Quarterback and run ahead. He gets about 3 yards, and we'll have the first down. McFarland and Jeter combining on the.
We're just trying to establish something. You're not going to win this game, but you can keep it respectable, and you have a chance to execute against one of the better defenses that you're going to see. A lot to be gained from this fourth quarter. Ed K offense do here in the remaining minutes.
Down 10 for the 47. Riley has and the pass down around the Dragon 33 is incomplete. Well short of the intended receiver, Aaron Denson, who had a good start. Game's coming down since then. Buck coverage for the Dragons.
It's not that Denson's been covered any better, but I think a lot of it has just been that Wiley has not had as much time to throw as he did on those full possessions.
Denson only has 2 catches in the second half. 5 catch first half.
Still a pretty
Added away. They're trying to get it to Riley Johnson, but they had pressure coming from Cat that made Jordan Wiley get rid of the football. Here comes third down and 10.
And again, Riley Johnson, the vicinity of the football, just paid the price for that. The Dragons have done him a touchdown run in this half.
Richland 5 of 10 on third down tries. Dragons started to take charge. Riley Johnson in the backfield alongside Riley. The snap. Here comes the pressure from Cantor. Gets away from it. Throws downfield, and it's incomplete. Down around the 27-yard line. It was intended for Columbus. Barrett was there for the Dragons. So B.O. Carter and Torres from the center over that left side. Here is quarterback Wiley to throw deep on 4th and 10 on the left sideline. And at the 25-yard line in Carroll territory is caught. Denson. Obi Evo was over in the coverage, but that is 12 yards and a first down. Nice pass and even better. Denson.
Evo was running step for step there along the sidelines. He just reached up and smacked that out of the air. You can see that kid's got some big-time ability.
First down from the 25-yard line. Here's the snap, and it'll be Wiley handing it off. Around the end comes Johnson. Comes right side to the 20, gets down to the 15-yard line. There's also a marker down as Robert Barnes credited with the tackle. But we'll have a flag to look into.
Holding. Off him. 10 yards from the previous spot. First down.
10 yards. And the penalty there, 8 infractions against Richland for 75 yards. First down, 15 from the 33. Silky's checked in for the Dragons. Zachary Simrak, the junior, in the defensive line position. As the quarterback Wiley waits on the shotgun snap, looks to the right to dump it out. Now finally gets it out there, complete to Landon Lee. One-on-one, sheds a tackler inside the 30, down the boundary to the 20, to the touchdown, Richland. 33 yards on the pass and run from Jordan Wiley to Landon Lee. Gets his third touchdown receipt, now 38-19.
That was really all Lee on the pass, too. That's a very short route, just a little sideline route. Lee slips one tackle and then rest of the Carroll defense to get into the end zone and tighten this up. Cut the margin in half right now at 38-19.
Well, they're going to go for 2, are the Rebels, which makes sense. Try to cut it to a 17-point game. They will line up a double wing set to the right side. One receiver Denson, one on coverage out to the left. As Wiley with a single setback, Johnson beside him to his left, takes the snap, rolls to the left, throws to the corner of the end zone, and it's caught by Denson. The 2-point conversion is good. 9:57 to go, fourth quarter. And the Dragons still with a comfortable lead. The Rebels have cut into it. It's now Carroll 38 and Richland 21. Dragons' second leading receiver for Richland is going to try that little short dribbler kick over on the far side that's recovered by Tyson Smider, and the Dragons will have it there. 9:56 to go in the fourth quarter, so the onside kick recovered by the Dragons, and Carroll will have it. Is on first down and 10. A handoff goes across the 47-yard line to the 47 in Richland territory. Even the 46 will give a gain of Jordan Humphreys. Montana Murphy, the senior captain for the Carroll Dragons, is in at quarterback right now. So Mason Holmes' night appears to be done. So Montana Murphy in there with An opportunity to
execute a little here.
Yep, do the good things for the offense. Of course, he started the opener against Westlake as he fakes the handoff to the running back Coleman and keeps it around the left end, gets to the 40, down to the 36, gain of about 10 yards on the play.
Holmes on the night finished pretty good numbers, 15 to 20, 228 yards, but 4 touchdown passes, Chuck. Moment.
Murphy looks to the near sideline. This is where the Dragons start to milk the clock. He actually carried 4 times for 36 yards, according to our statistician, Ned Pearson.
And I trust Ned.
Yep.
So, yes.
Should. Anybody's done it as long as he has. It's crazy. First down and 10 from the 36-yard line. 3 receivers right, 4 on the rush for Richland as they'll put it in the belly of Shamar Coleman. Bounces outside right with room. 30, 25, 20. Right sideline to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Leaps in the end zone. Oh, he stepped out of bounds at the 3. 33 yards on the burst by Shamar Coleman, who thought he had made it into the end zone with that kangaroo hop, but instead he stepped right on the mark.
That's his long run of the year, too, surpassing a 28-yarder earlier in the season. And you can see it right there.
Goal to go. Montana Murphy takes the snap, hands it to Coleman, barrels into the end zone. Touchdown, Dragons. Coleman, the second score of the night, and Carroll will make this one academic. So they tack on another score and now lead it 44 to 21. Here is the extra point brought to you by County Commissioner Gary Fickus. It's good by Cole Ramage, but we get whistles on the field. Let's see what this is about. Oh, I guess just to say it's good. 8:37 to go, fourth quarter. New score, Dragons 45, the Rebels 21. 3-yard TD run. The Dragons now up to 254 rushing yards. The Sewell Cadillac of Grapevine kickoff from Cole Ramage comes down to the 5-yard line, brought back out by Richland to the 15, to the 16, and Joey Cole gets buried at that point. It will be a 1st and 10 for the Rebels with 8:30 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Trey Self in at quarterback for the Richland Rebels. So Self from his 16-yard line starts 3 of 6 on the night, and he will hand it on that end of a little sweep that goes to Riley Johnson, and the sophomore will get about 3 yards as he gets out to the 20-yard line before he's tackled there by Jacob Doddridge and Matt Warner. Well, Warner's done a pretty good job tonight, Kelly. Again, no Grant Phelps. I'm not sure if and when he'll return. Phelps got an injury last week against Coppell, so we hope for a speedy return for the Dragon Jr., who's a big part of this defense, but he's been knocked out of a couple of games this year early, so we'll see when he can get back in. But Warner, the sophomore, doing a good job in his stead. As a 2nd down and 7 from the 20. And Dylan Pinks to the backfield, and we get a flag before the play starts.
Ball start. Offense. Number 60. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Worth noting that Jacob Young's still out of action for the Rebel offensive line, so they're going with Rubio and Carter there on the left side. That's now the 9th penalty for 78 yards on the evening for Richland.
Well, the ball marked back to the 15-yard line, 7:30 in the clock running here in the fourth quarter. Self, the quarterback, Johnson in the backfield, along with Dylan Pinkston, the junior, who's lined up in the backfield as well. So a 2-back set, and they'll put it in the belly of Johnson as he sweeps around the right end, gets from the 15 out to the 20-yard line, gave about 5 yards on the play.
Kind of a high snap time you do that. It just throws. We saw so much of that last week and how it impacted the Coppell offense. That was a problem for Richland earlier in the year. Led them to move Scout Lyons, who'd been their center for a year and a half, over to guard. Isaac Torres is in there now.
Richland 5 of 11 on 3rd down tries. There's a heavy pressure in the quarterback. Self almost buried. He's looking for Denson. Actually, Ryan Miller was the one that came in there in a hurry, and he was on Aaron Denson, who was lined up in the Wildcat. It wasn't Self, it was Denson. Sideline update brought to you by Dust Famous Wings with Travis.
The 21 points the Rebels have put up is the most they have scored against the Dragons in this series. They twice had scored 14 points But this team is a much better team than we have seen. The last 3 games, those 3 games, so we have definitely seen an improvement on the Richland Rebels.
You know, looking ahead for Richland, they got to beat one of the big guys. And, you know, they've got their opportunity. This is a team that's playoff worthy if they can just get over that hump.
Zellmer back to punt this one away, puts a foot into it, and it will go across the 50-yard line to the 45. And again, the Dragons not putting anybody back. I think Carroll coaching staff is pretty disgusted at a 6-yard punt. At the inability to field the punts, they just say, hey, if you can't do it, we're going to take you right out, and that's what they've done. Dragon. As we get a busted snap, and it looks like some penalty will be coming up. Might have some backups in the Dragon defense. Looks like, in fact, we've got a full second team in there on the offensive line and the receiving corps as well as the officials huddling to talk about it. Blake Berwick, a senior, is in at a wide receiver position. Sebastian Stetler is in as well. Clayton
Ball
Keys.
start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remain first down.
Third penalty against the Dragons for 30 yards. Royce Weigel is in the game at a receiver spot too. Check some of these guys up front. Looks like junior Henry Kling is in at a tackle position. Justin Lee.
Yep, it is.
First down and 15 at the 39. Dragons leading 45-21. 6:40 here in quarter number 4 as they'll swing the pass out of the near side flat. It's caught by Sebastian Stetler. Will get out across the 40 out to the 45-yard line, and I believe after that pickup of 6, that's the first Dragon catch for Stetler on the year. 2 Rebels combining on the stop as we're down nearing the midway point of quarter number 4. Trace Anderson tackle, Justin Lee the left guard, Anton Ezzard the center, Anthony Gervasi and the right guard slot. Carson Green is still in there. Tackle. I thought I saw Henry Kling in there a minute ago. Maybe I was dreaming things. Here's the snap to Montana Murphy. He's going to throw the 15 down to the 10 and tackle there. 45 yards on the pass play from Montana Murphy to an open receiver, Blake Berwick, who makes his first catch as a Dragon. The tackle was made there at that point by Jenkins, and now the Dragons are in the red zone with 5:56 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Nice deep ball by Montana Murphy hitting Berwick in stride.
Here's the snap to the quarterback Murphy, and he will hand it off. Here's Johansson coming around the left side, gets inside the 10, gets down to about the 6, gain of 4. I knew I saw Henry Kling there. He's sometimes a tackle, but he's being used a guard position. He's in there at that left guard slot. And Justin Lee is the
6-yard line.
Second down, 6. Second down goal, I should say, from the 6-yard line.
Any moment should be firing up Hey Baby.
Yeah, they did that with about 11 minutes left. So I don't think there will be an encore.
I missed it.
Yeah, there won't be an encore tonight.
Well,
snap to Murphy with a flag going down before the snap. Should cost the Dragons 5 yards.
Can't we get a reprise on homecoming night?
Oh, boy.
Start. Offense. Number 53. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Fourth Dragon penalty for 35 yards. Kelly, if we play much more football, it might just be the broadcast crew here and the guys down on the field.
There's a few hardcores that'll stick around with us.
Yeah, well,
it'll be 15.
I mean, this was a sellout crowd at the start of the game. 1,500 left on the near side.
Well, the band has to stay, so you know they won't be going anywhere.
Second down and goal to go from the 11-yard line. There's another jump across the front. Snap to Murphy, handoff, running play. Johansson comes strong to the side of the 10, gets down to the 5, and has the 3-yard line before he's tackled there. Let's see, did we have a flag at start of play? I think we did. I think it'll be offside against Richland, and Dragons may just take the play. Well, it'll be a big crowd next week at Pennington Field in Bedford as I guess it might be a little premature to call it this, but it really should be the battle for the district championship.
Well, the way things are shaping up, I don't know what else you call it.
Neutral zone infraction on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Half the distance down to the 6-yard line. By the way, we mentioned Anthony Gervasi. He is in there now at the center position, mixing some people in this Dragon offensive line. And the Dragons have it. Second down and goal to go just inside the 6, leading 45-21, 4.5 minute fourth quarter. In a game that is dragged on just a tad. Homecoming night always seems to go a little bit longer. Coleman and Johansson in the backfield out of the pistol. Snap to Murphy. Has pressure off the edge. Tucks it down. Runs to the 5. Still surging toward the goal line. Did he get in? No. They said he's down a short. 5 yards for Montana Murphy, senior captain for the Dragons. Let's see if they'll give him another shot as we've got a third down and goal coming at the 1. Boy, that pile was into the end zone, but came up just short.
P.J. Hill chased him down from the backside. I mean, he ran all over the field to be down from behind.
They stay in the pistol on third down and goal at the 1. Snap to Murphy. He takes it, goes straight ahead, hit before the goal line, but he falls in for the touchdown. So Montana Murphy, the senior for the Dragons, gets his first rushing score of the year. Tack on enough points for the Dragons. It's now 51-21.
And the reserves looking pretty good on that drive. Okay, you had a few issues with the offensive line and movement, but the skill guys all executing nicely on that possession.
County Commissioner Gary Fickus brings you the point after attempt by Cole Ramage, and he stays perfect on the year as Ramage tonight not only has a 3:41 to go here in the fourth quarter. Carroll leading 52-21. We'll take a brief timeout here and have more when Carroll Dragon football presented by Freeman Toyota continues after this timeout. 3:41 remaining in the football game. The Dragons tacking on another TD, 6 plays, 56 yards. The Ozarka brand 100% natural spring water scoring drive, 2:59 off the clock. And good news, 1-yard touchdown run by Montana Murphy, as Richland's Joey Cole breaks up the middle on the kickoff return, gets the 20 to the 30, and still churning out near the 38-yard line before he's brought down by Barrett Buck. And that's where the Richland Rebels will take over first and 10. Again, 3:32 remaining in the football game on the 38-yard line. Here is the handoff at a running play around the end, goes to DeMonte Turner. Checks in, dropped after a loss of about a yard. Buck in on the tackle. There's also a marker on the play. So that is DeMonte Turner who checks in.
And Richland taking advantage of the opportunity to get their reserves a little bit of action here.
Illegal formation. Offense. 5 men in the backfield. Penalties decline. Second down.
Sean Clary is also in. Broadway a junior, and Clary is senior. Check to see some of the other faces that are in there in this Dragon D. Gavin Harrison, a junior, is in at the safety slot. As Richland, quarterback Trey Self, taking the snap and handing it off. And trying to come near side of the football was Turner. Now reverses his field to the 41. The gain of about 3 yards on the play. Who else is out there? Jacob Murphy is in at the free safety position, looks like. So we've got a fresh secondary. They don't have a whole lot of depth, the Dragon defense. John Miskell is in the game. A little late eyes looking at 3rd and 7 from its own 41-yard line. Snap to the quarterback. Self hands it off. Running play coming to the right is Angelo Soriano from the F-back position, who will have a gain maybe. Nope, he got stopped short of the line of scrimmage, so it's a loss of 1. And there was also a flag down on the play. That last tackle, Sherrod Coleman was in there. That's Shamar's brother.
Infraction on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Replay third down.
Will Quillen is in. So linebacker spot.
I'm just pleased to see this rare appearance by the F-back out of the Richland.
Eric Spittler, we mentioned him in at the rover slot. Third down and about 4. One receiver to the left, 2 to the right. As they snap it and hand it off. Running play, Angelo Soriano. Big senior running back gets a gain of a couple of yards outside the 45, I should say, to the 46-yard line. Bring up fourth down. We're under 2 minutes to go. Steven Stewart making the stop for the Dragons. The backup right in.
Brought down by Coleman and Stewart.
Well, this game is going to last 3 hours, Kelly.
But every minute of it was enjoyable, Chuck. Turned out to be a much better game, really, than the Richland contest typically is. This is a move team, and this was entertaining. This was fun tonight.
Maybe you should run for Speaker of the House. You're very diplomatic.
No.
Fourth down, Dragon 25, and that should just about do it. As it was intended for Kyle Kersey. Kevin Harrison was over in the coverage for the Dragons. So Carroll will take over with 1:18 remaining after snapping the football a couple of times, and that will be that. Carroll will improve to 5-1 on the season, 2-0 in District 7 6A. First down and 10 from the 46-yard line, and they're going to hand it off to Jack Johansson, who will go straight ahead inside the 40 down to the 35. Gain of junior right in on the tackle for the Richland Rebels. Well, they weren't kidding. The coaches told us before the game this Richland team is a lot better than it's been in past years. They're definitely heading the right direction. You know, they may not beat Carroll, may not beat Trinity, may not beat Coppell, but they can duke it out for that number 4 spot with Heritage and with whoever else decides to step in there, LD Bell. Well, they've already beat them. They're taking care of that. Here's the high snap, and Montana Murphy's going to go straight ahead for 9 yards inside the 30-yard line down to the 27. Almost makes the tackle.
Murphy on the carry.
Down to 34 seconds left, and the Dragons will not have to snap another play, although they're right back to
just
the line
for
of
fun,
scrimmage.
maybe they will.
In the hurry up, down to 25. So do kind of a high snap to Murphy. You know, put it in the belly of Johansson, and he'll run left side down to the 20-yard line. Again, will stop momentarily to reset the chains as Thomas Barrow, the junior strong safety, on that tackle for the Richland Rebels. Down to 13 seconds. And they'll put it back in motion. Carroll will say, no, that's it. Linemen were up there saying, let's run another one. But Montana Murphy said, hey, done. Come to the sideline. And the clock is rolling down on 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And the Carroll Dragons win it tonight. A happy homecoming 2015. The final score, Carroll 52 and Richland 21.